Hi, my name is Emma Kate Cawley. I'm currently a senior here at Kentucky studying integrated strategic communication and political science, and I'm originally from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hey everybody, my name's Grant Owens. I'm a junior here studying biology and I'm on the pre-medicine track, and I'm from Maysville, Kentucky.
Today we're just going to go through some questions about the University of Kentucky and why we love it. All right, first one. Where is UK located? So UK is located in Lexington, Kentucky, kind of in the heart of the bluegrass.
Lexington, Kentucky is a great city. Like she said, it's in the central part of the state. We're more towards the eastern state, which is a little bit of a further drive for some of our students. They're from like the western part of the state. But it's kind of that transition to the SEC, to the south. We do consider ourselves in the south. But Lexington's just a really cool city, and it's got a ton of different things to offer. You talk about some of the things in Lexington?
Yeah, so when I first came to Kentucky, especially from out of state, I really didn't know Lexington existed, and everything that I had to offer, one, great food. Every time my parents come visit, I feel like we're trying a new restaurant. It's one of my favorite things. There's a food guide that I need to get through before I graduate. And then also, my favorite thing about Lexington is Octobers and Aprils, because it is Keeneland season, and I had no clue there was horse racing right here in Lexington, but it was my favorite surprise when I came to Kentucky.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite experiences being from Kentucky is I'd been to Keeneland before, but a lot of my friends that were from out of state, they'd never been to a horse race before. So when they got here on campus, one of the first things we did in the fall was go straight to Keeneland. And actually my favorite days in the entire city are in the falls in October. During that fall meet, you can catch Keeneland in the morning. If we have a home football game at night, you can go catch the home football game at night. The vibes in the city are just really good, especially during those Keeneland meets and during football and basketball season. So
yeah.
I can't rave enough about how much I love the city. As soon as I got here, I felt like I was at home, even though I'm an hour and 30 minutes up the road. I truly feel like Lexington is going to be my forever home.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to grad school here, so I'm very excited to stay in Lexington for at least 2 more years. Yeah. Okay. What is Kentucky's mascot?
Kentucky's mascot is the Kentucky Wildcat. He's actually called Bowman, and we actually have a couple different Bowmen scattered throughout campus. So we do have one big, nice Bowman statue that's located right outside our UK's historical Memorial Coliseum. And then we also have one in our student center. So as soon as you get to campus, I know my mom, when I went on my tour here, she made me take a picture with Bowman and get my Wildcat pictures in for my first day of class.
Oh yeah, I always go there. They have a whole booth set up for the first day of class to take photos with him. And then also the actual mascot around basketball and football games, people just call him Wildcat really, but he has a little brother, and that's Half Scratch or Scratch.
Yeah.
My favorite mascot. Don't tell the Wildcat I said that, but genuinely I'm obsessed with Scratch. He'll just do handstands and cartwheels during games. Love him.
I think I saw Scratch doing the gritty at the Tennessee game the other day. So
no, he's genuinely Scratch is the little brother that always is doing something random. But I love him.
I think we kind of just hit on this one. Is the mascot a bobcat? The mascot is not a bobcat. The mascot is a wildcat. I think in nature, the bobcat is much larger and the wildcat is a little smaller. I think that's true. I'm really not completely sure.
I have no
But there's
clue.
definitely a clear distinction. There's definitely a clear distinction that.
No, I as an out-of-state student, I had no clue. I just know that was a wildcat and I just ran with it. And so I've never even thought of him as a bobcat before.
Yeah. I mean, we are the Kentucky Wildcats, but most of the time I feel like people just say go Cats.
Yeah, we got the Wildcats from a football game a long time ago, and the announcer said we were fighting like Wildcats, and it's stuck ever since.
Well, I didn't know that. I guess you learn something every day.
Best spots on Kentucky's campus. Personally, you'll always find me at William T. Young Library. I am always at the library, especially junior year when I was taking the hardest courses I've ever taken in my entire life. With internships and everything else, I was constantly there, except I kind of use the library as a social space as well because I run into so many people, and I'll just talk to them for hours, and then I'll realize I've procrastinated my work the entire time, and I'll catch up.
Yeah, I think Willie T, as we like to call it around here, that's definitely a hot spot on campus. Not to mention just the library in general, but here recently we've got a little bit of snow. Willie T has a nice big bowl on kind of like the south side of it where you can go sledding. There's about, I don't know, when I was there's probably like 400 people, which is actually crazy, and everyone's just grabbing anything from a shopping cart to a cardboard box and sledding down the hill. So that's a good spot, especially when it's snowing, and if you need to study for sure. But honestly, I think for me, especially freshman year, I was always at the 90. I love the 90. I really do. I love the 90. It's a good spot to just go grab a bite to eat in between class. I feel like I always saw my friends there. And then the rec centers on campus. I think the really nice part about our rec centers is that we have two. We have one on North Campus and one on Central Campus. Our campus is kind of split into two, where we have residence halls on the north side and also on the central side of campus. And with that comes with like basically two of everything. You know, you have two rec centers. We have two of our like larger dining halls on Central and North Campus. I just think it's really nice that you kind of have the best of both worlds, both on North Campus and Central Campus.
Yeah, personally, I lived on Central Campus my freshman year. I still kind of live on Central Campus now, but I would always go to North Campus to eat in the dining hall. I love Champion's Kitchen. Yeah. I'm more of a Champion's Kitchen girl myself. But then the Johnson Center is adding so much more to it. It's already the largest recreation center on campus, but there's so much more that's being added to it too that I'm very jealous that people are going to be able to experience that.
But they do have 4 basketball courts there. I know that they have basically anything you can ever imagine you need to work out with, the barbells, the dumbbells, all the machines and things like that. And they have a lot of cool classes. I know a lot of my friends, they teach like cycling classes or they teach like Pilates classes, Zumba classes. So those are always a good spot to hang out, especially when you're done after a long day, go get a nice workout in or something like that.
What are the dorms like at UK? So the residence halls here, just as a campus tour guide myself, are so nice. Like they are so nice. My freshman year, I lived in a 2-bedroom suite with my own full-size bed, and so that was amazing with my own room. But then we also have 2 other styles if you want to talk about those.
Yeah, I think one of the best parts is there are a lot of opportunities in different kinds of living spaces. She talked about those 2-bedroom suites. There's also 3-person suites where you're going to be able to live with 2 other roommates. And then even as a freshman, you can live with up to 3 roommates, or you can get in one of those 4-person suites. So just kind of the difference in styles of rooms, I think that's a really big plus about that makes our dorms and our residence halls a little bit nicer.
What is your favorite UK memory? I'm going to make you go first on this one.
Yeah, there's too many. I'm not going to lie to you. Honestly, for me, I don't even think that I can narrow it down to one. I mean, I think I've just had so many good memories, so many life lessons, so many just things that have shaped me into the person that I'm being. College is definitely a big step up from high school, right? You get all that nice independence. You know, you're away from home, you're meeting new people, you're kind of finding yourself. So all of those memories kind of build to shape you. I have always loved sports. I mean, I grew up playing sports. I knew that I was coming to a big SEC school where we, have good sports. One of my favorite memories in sports was when we got a new head basketball coach when Mark Pope came. They actually threw a press conference in Rupp Arena. It was completely free to the entire public, and they filled up the entire stadium for a press conference. So I just knew that BBM was a little bit different when we were doing that. But I honestly don't think that I can even narrow it down to one. I think there's too many.
Yeah, I think now that I'm a senior, it's so hard to look back and just like pick one memory. There's so many snow days that I spent with like my friends at Willie T and just like playing in the snow and like hanging out, thinking that school was going to be canceled the next day, but it never really was. And then just every DanceBlue I've ever been a part of. Also, DanceBlue is a 24-hour no sitting, no sleeping dance marathon, raising money for a pediatric hematology and oncology clinic right here at Kentucky's campus. And my first year when I was on DanceBlue's committee was a record-breaking year in everything we did. And it was just such a wonderful experience to be part of that right in Rupp Arena. So it's just been so many different memories, so many different impactful things, so many people that I've met that are going to be my friends for life now.
Yeah. I mean, the memories and the places that you're at, those are awesome. But I think the people here is kind of what makes it for me, honestly. Yeah. Felt like I immediately walked into a community that was super, super welcoming. Found my group of friends. I got involved in a lot of different student organizations and Greek life and things like that. So there's a lot of different things that you can get involved in and go and make your own memories.
If you're interested about learning more about the University of Kentucky, come schedule a tour with us here at UK's Visitor Center. We're both campus tour guides, so we'd love to see you on campus soon.